In Denver's early days, the city served as a remote western hub for people joining the gold rush. By 1983, nearly 100 years later, Denver had a population of 1.4 million. From its young Wild West days, the city had become a place of opportunity, of adventure, where people looked to make their way, make a living, and make a home. Sadly, in the 80s, Denver began to see more of its community members on the streets, living in poverty and experiencing homelessness. The Denver Post reported the 80s as the second worst economic period in Colorado's history after the Great Depression. During this downturn, many residents were left without jobs, without homes, and without hope. Reverend Bert Womack, a leader in the Episcopal Diocese of Colorado, recognized the critical needs of a growing population of people living in poverty and homeless. In 1983, Bert joined with the Episcopal Church to establish the Pastoral Care Center, a small day shelter that offered men and women experiencing homelessness a safe place to spend the day. The center served between 50 to 60 people a day in its first year, but as the number of men and women needing a safe daytime refuge increased, the Pastoral Care Center, now named St. Francis Center, SFC, began looking for a larger space. In 1985, SFC bought and renovated the building on 2323 Curtis Street, moving the day shelter operations to the Curtis Park neighborhood. 3 years later, the center entered into partnership with Trinity United Methodist Church to provide basic employment services to guests seeking stable, long-term employment. By the end of the 90s, SFC added a health clinic, and its second and current executive director, Tom Lewers, had been at the helm for 7 years. Since the move to Curtis Street, SFC has continued to adapt and meet the needs of Denver's growing homeless population, becoming a multi-service provider of shelter, outreach, employment, and housing. As visible homelessness increased in the 2000s, street outreach was started in 2005. The outreach team is made up of mobile staff who build relationships and connections with Denver's unsheltered men and women needing support and services. At the same time, it was also becoming clear that case-managed housing was the long-term solution to homelessness. By 2008, SFC completed construction on its first housing project, the Cornerstone Residences at St. Francis Center, providing 50 previously homeless men and women with their own apartments and regular case management support and other supportive services. In 2018, SFC opened its second apartment building, the St. Francis Apartments at Cathedral Square. This building provides housing and support services to 50 men and women previously homeless, some having their own homes for the first time in many years. Presently, renovations are ongoing on the historic Warren Methodist Church, located on the corner of 14th and Gilpin. A beautifully remodeled space will open in 2021, marking SFC's third housing facility, with 48 workforce units, providing residents a stable, affordable home while they work and get back on their feet. Today, the SFC Day Center welcomes an average of 800 people daily, 7 days a week, year-round. The Day Center offers guests access to mail and storage, showers, clothes, social services, and medical care. We have come a long way since 1983, both as a city and as an organization serving some of our city's most vulnerable. The population of Denver has doubled since our founding, with the city consistently ranked as one of the fastest-growing cities in the country. Metro Denver's most recent point-in-time survey shows that Denver has approximately 5,755 people experiencing homelessness on any given night. As these numbers have risen, the St. Francis Center has developed a holistic approach to coming alongside our guests, offering opportunities to rebuild what has been lost. For as long as necessary, we will continue to meet the needs of our community members who are experiencing homelessness, providing core services and the types of additional support that truly direct our guests away from homelessness. And we will only be able to continue to do this with your help. We can do this when our city, our churches, our schools, our neighborhoods, and our businesses come together as one community.